Hello and good morning and welcome to our show. Today we are starting way more show like
You have to finish this.
apparently. Oh my god! I
You
started
have to
something
finish
and I
this.
couldn't.
Yeah, no
I
way back
couldn't
now.
continue. Oh my god! Where's my suit and tie? I need to
Hello, everybody.
look the part. So happy 4.0 to
Oh, I thought you
you
were going to say Happy
and
Thursday.
your whole
Yeah,
team and your whole existence.
I was sleeping when it was released because
Right.
the guys were working on it pretty hard
Yeah,
in Miami.
I noticed that it looked like a good bunch of crunch mode guys stuck in a
Yeah, yeah,
hotel room. Nobody leaves before.
yeah. Yeah, they did something cool for the. I'm kind of curious to hear how it was for them, but they did a cool thing for the Tailwind retreat at the hotel. They got like a big suite. I think it was like a 3 bedroom suite with a living room as well. So at least Adam, I think, is staying in there. But then it's also like the common area or the mutual area for the whole
Oh, all right,
team.
yeah,
Because normally in hotels, like you're always like trying to like find a place to meet, like, and then you like end
yeah.
up hanging out in the lobby and stuff. But it's nice to like have a more like private space. And yeah, it felt like a good hack to just get a suite.
Reminds me of I'm going on a ski vacation pretty soon. Actually, going on two this year, but going to a hytte, a cottage in
Yeah,
Norway. Sort of
nice.
the same, just that you're sleeping in bunk beds instead of
No Miami
instead of
skyline.
hotel suites.
Yeah, I think it's quite different, honestly.
Okay. But it reminded me.
Yeah. No offense
Maybe
to
I'm
you.
just looking forward to the Huda situation.
Yeah, I don't think they had bunk beds at that hotel.
Ah, too bad. You'll have to get him some bunk beds next time.
Yeah. Anywho, yeah, Tailwind 4 is out, which means Tailwind Labs needs to find out what we're doing next.
What's next? Yeah. That's not a given.
Tailwind 5.
Oh no, give the guy a break.
No, no, no. Tailwind 4 is the last version.
Is
It's
that
good.
this the last question?
I think so. It's good
It's
now, you know?
final. GM.
It's good now.
Yeah, yeah. It has been lacking all these years, but now it's good.
Yeah, I think that's something that Adam is good at is taking something you thought was good and making it better.
Yeah, yeah. I've been using Tailwind for years. Feels like at least
Yeah,
half a year.
at
So
least half a year.
it doesn't feel sort of as new as if it was just like out of the blue.
Right.
But it's nice. Like I've been looking
The
forward to
website
it,
is
and
nice.
I have to. I just looked at it on my mobile phone, so I need to go take a look in the big screen. But I've
Yeah, it's
built NitroKit on Tailwind 4 as well, so I'm sort of used to it. But I
yeah.
still don't think I know really like some of the custom attributes, for example. I'm still doing it the old way with the square brackets, whereas stuff like not or has or something like that data, I guess too, can just go like regular without the square brackets. So all that sort of stuff, I still need to investigate.
Yeah. Lots to dive into
Yeah, yeah. So how does it feel?
to release it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I haven't really been part of it. I've been
All right.
I've been just trying to like make their lives easy. Um,
So is it like being the janitor on the sports team that wins the season?
it's like being the parent or something.
All right. Yeah. Good job, guys.
Yeah,
All right, let's pack it up.
yeah. Like I booked all the restaurants for the meetup. Like
Oh yeah,
try to
okay.
make sure they get some good food, you know, and
Yeah, some good
are
sleep,
like
some
hydrated
good food.
and
Yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah.
put sunscreen
That's
on.
but that's not unimportant.
No,
I
it's not.
mean,
It's very important.
key player still.
Yeah, I had a restaurant reservation for them yesterday, and then I got an email notification that they changed it, and I knew that they were in crunch mode
Yeah,
because they moved it 2 hours and 15 minutes.
they moved it to maybe.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah, all right. But they
Yeah,
did it. It's out. It's out.
it is out.
So
And
are you
the meetup,
feeling like,
they had a meetup 2 days ago, which I, from what I heard, was good as well. So that was nice because you know, I was kind of curious how it was going to go since I organized it from far away, little Denmark. It's always weird when you do stuff like that. Um, I don't know. It's kind of similar feeling I've had like with like I remember once like finding out that there was like a WordPress meetup in like Colombia or something like that, where the topic was WP Pusher for that like
oh,
day, and I was like,
all right.
just the idea that like these people are like meeting somewhere like on the other side of the world, and it somehow like has some sort of like something to do with me, or I did something, to
Yeah,
like make that happen. It's like just
that's
a weird
weird.
feeling. Yeah,
So you were there in spirit.
in spirit and on iMessage.
How does it feel to be back at home? Are you feeling the FOMO?
Yeah, it's really crazy actually. I really feel it. But
I imagine.
next time I'll go.
Next time you'll feel it even worse.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I just jinxed it.
All right, yeah, yeah, but that's like small kids' life, I
Yeah,
guess.
but it's cool. It's a great milestone. It's been going on for a while, and I think it's really good, and I think people really like it. So it's nice, even though I'm not super involved or not involved at all.
We already talked about this. You're a key
I
player.
get all the testimonials, via email and stuff. So
Yeah, and then send
I'll
them along.
yeah.
But still, just like take a sip before you pass it on.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Well, so
Yeah,
what have you been up to by yourself?
yeah. What have I been up to? I guess I could have told. I think I forgot to say it last time. I didn't mention I was speaking at the Laravel meetup last
Oh
time, I
no, you
think.
didn't.
No, there's a new. So Casper, who now runs the Copenhagen meetup, he's spawned the meetup into new cities in Denmark. So there's one in Aarhus now, and one in Odense,
Wow.
which is only an hour from here. An hour plus a toll bridge, so we don't go that often, even though I have family there. Um, but they're doing their first meetup, and I think it's about in a month, next month at least in February, and I'm going to be a speaker, so it's very cool. I'm excited
Nice.
about it.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
some of
about?
the, do you know, or
No, no, I'm asking.
do you want to guess?
um, being forced to stay at home while your friends are having a party in Miami.
Yeah. No, I'm giving a talk about Cursor,
Oh, right. So
and I
did you have
feel
Cursor write the talk for you?
not yet.
It's a meta
I'll have an
angle.
I'll have another model write it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And then
But it's I feel a little bit like an imposter because I don't feel like I'm very good at Cursor. But I feel
all
like
right.
it's still a month out, and I have some stuff I want to use it for, and I already have some like rough ideas. So I feel like it's a really like today and yesterday I was like I didn't have much time, and I was kind of stressing out about some other things, and but I was like you're giving a talk about Cursor in a month. Like you need to code. You need to use Cursor for something.
Need to at least try it.
Yeah. You need to install it, dude.
Yeah.
And
But there's
so,
something to the angle of like a newbie's guide to Cursor or something like that.
yeah. And it's not like, everyone is kind of new to it because it's like relatively new, but it's going to
That's
be
right.
really fresh in mind because I've already been using it a bunch and I'm going to use it as much as I can in the next month and just take notes. So, and then I think I'm going to do like the talk like in basically in two halves. Like one is going to be like maybe some live coding and just show like some tips and tricks, but also a little bit of like, because I think the title of the talk is gonna be something like embrace it or be replaced or something like that. Something kind of dark.
Nice.
Yeah. Always good to start with a threat, you know.
Yeah. So, are you
Watch my
awake,
talk or
people?
lose your job, loser.
Yeah.
And
Are you scared yet?
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm also going to talk a little bit about like kind of my view on what I think is going to happen with AI and developer jobs, and kind of how I feel like where you can have an edge still, which is obviously very speculative, and who am I to say anything about it? But I am going to. and I'm kind of thinking like that maybe I want to do, because in my head I did that part first and then I do the live coding afterwards. But I was kind of thinking like if there are people there and they haven't used AI much, and they kind of,
Yeah.
or they're kind of skeptical, or maybe they didn't use it since like ChatGPT 3.5 or something like that. Maybe it'd be good to just show them the tool first so they realize how good it is. And
Yeah.
then, because then that's actually more scary than the other part of the talk. If you have
Yeah,
no
maybe.
idea and then you realize how good it is, it's kind of like terrifying.
Did you try agent mode in Composer yet?
No, not yet. It's on my
It's
list to try
crazy.
that. Yeah.
Like with something like Rails that has all these terminal commands you can do, like generators. I think Laravel has those as well, where you can
Mm.
generate code. I mean, if you like tick the toggle that lets it just run terminal commands on its own, it's like completely insane. You just tell it to like make a complete authentication setup, and it just goes at it like like nothing, and it just runs commands, and it goes like it's completely crazy, completely nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's on my list to try it. I looked at it because it's a good segue actually into my other update about what I was working on. Because last time I kind of teased the idea of like helping with receipts and bookkeeping and stuff like that. Um, and I decided that no matter what, I want to build something for myself just because it's fun to build. And
It is.
so I'm basically building an app where I can email, or I can forward email receipts, or even set the email from the app as like the billing email for
Mm,
services, and then use an LLM to like parse the email, parse the attachments, and then figure out what's a subscription, what's a one-time purchase, and then keep track of it and keep track of the invoices, keep track of the
yeah.
subscriptions, when they're renewing, what card is on file, when it's expiring. Um, so yeah, so I'm working on that right now, and I'm just using Cursor as much as I can. Um,
Like if you can sell that cheap, that's a crazy product.
yeah, I think it's gonna be really good because I already like I haven't even started working with attachments yet, but just the email you get from Stripe,
Yeah.
the only indication that something is a subscription is that there's some sort of plan name, and
Oh yeah.
on the
Okay.
line item there's two dates, but it's enough for ChatGPT with like no further instructions or training or anything to be like, that's a subscription, that's a one-time purchase.
Wow.
Like it just knows, it's crazy.
Did
So
you
it's
try and
gonna,
give it a regular like one time
yeah,
checkout sort of?
I gave it like my when I purchased like Polar, because I bought like lifetime access, so it was a one-time
Yeah.
purchase, and then I gave it like my latest email from Transistor, and it got it right. It got everything
Oh
right about
man.
it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Bad
it's really
news
good.
for accountants, I guess.
It's really good,
Bookkeepers.
honestly. Yeah, and it's gonna be very easy to like I'm gonna use LLMs for everything. I'm not so when I get a new receipt, I'm just gonna give it like the list of existing subscriptions and ask it if is this an existing subscription, or do we need to like register a new subscription here?
That's
All that
crazy.
stuff is just because like how would you? It would be hard to do without the AI, but with AI, it's
Yeah.
trivial.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
built
so I'm
this
actually really
10
excited
years
about this
ago.
idea, and
I built
it's
something
gonna be
like
amazing.
this 10 years ago without any sort of AI, but just
Yeah,
like OCRing the documents and reading them. And then we had people actually filling in the things.
yeah.
And so like adding LLMs is gonna be crazy. But if it's good, then I mean that's like
Oh, it will
I
be good.
I spend a bunch on having a bookkeeper because I just don't want to bother. But all that money I can keep for myself if
And me.
if you do this. Yeah, you'll get a bit.
Yeah. So it's a really fun thing to work on. The thing I was working on yesterday is like I've actually never built an app that receive inbox like that has like an inbox where you can receive emails. And
Oh,
I've always like knew that it was like sort of trivial to build with like using services and stuff to do it, but I've never actually built it myself. And so I kind of had to look into how it worked, and it looked like pretty easy, like set up an email server, but it never is like when you start to get into it,
no,
because
no, no.
then like emails as well as like then you get something that's been like forwarded 3 times and it's like a thread and like what
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
get into that. So like every like Postmark, Mailgun, all those, like they have this feature where you can route email into your own app as like a webhook basically. And
yeah,
then for
yeah. That's what I
Laravel,
did when I did it.
yeah, do you know Marcel? I don't know how to pronounce his last
Yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah,
Patio
yeah. He
from
was at
oh
the
yeah, yeah,
conference where, yeah, super
Marcel
nice
plus
dude.
last name. He built like
Pochiro, something like that.
Potio or Porsche
Pocho. Yeah.
Blah blah
Sorry,
blah
Marcel.
flit the flip and
He was the meta programming guy at the conference. I love
yeah,
stuff
he's
like that.
awesome. He's built a gazillion Laravel packages, and he's a pretty smart dude. And he has this package that's like 6 years old called Mailbox, and it has like drivers for all these different services like Mailgun and stuff, but also has driver for like local development. So it's just so easy to get started with. So I set that up yesterday, and actually like that was like one place where I really hit the wall a few times with Cursor because it didn't know the package, so it just kept like it kept hallucinating, and it's really annoying.
Oh, yeah.
So it gave me like that was one thing that was really annoying. The other thing was like I had a lot of scaffolding, like new models and stuff I needed to make. And when you don't use agent mode, it'll just make the file from scratch, which sometimes is okay, but a lot of the times it forgets to do the plumbing. Because like when you sometimes when you create like a lot of stuff in Laravel is like auto discovered and stuff like that, but like sometimes you still have something you need to like add to some service provider, or like you need to like do a little bit of like plumbing basically to get things to work. And it screwed up pretty often actually, compared to just like when it's just like refactoring code and adding little features here and there. But like
Mm,
generating new files is not what it's best at, in my opinion. But with agent mode you could have it run the generators like you
yeah,
were saying, right? So because the Laravel
yeah,
ones are really really good, and there are a million of them, and they have a lot of like different flags and options. And so you actually want to, because when you do that you also get it the Laravel way, which is always a good like starting point. So that's why I wanted to get into the agent mode more. Is just to not have Cursor generate the files, because there's just like, and it adds weird comments to them. And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
then it gets
Yeah, you
it
still
gets
have
lazy
to.
halfway through, and it starts just adding comments instead of writing code.
Yeah, that's the fake confidence. That's where it's like still can be annoying to use them.
Yeah,
Like
but the
when they're
thing,
right, it's like great, but when they aren't right, they're still like certainly, and then just goes at it.
yeah, but like with this project where I'm literally only using Cursor, something I've found that it's really good at is like writing tests. And it's so
Yeah,
nice because you're just like, if it's like a bigger feature to like help me think through it, I'll have it write the test first. But even just afterwards, be like, can you make sure these like 3 things are covered, and write a test for it? And it just does it. And it's like, because when you have to write a test, you're always like, okay, I'm
yeah. So
gonna go
what
to the
do I write?
bathroom, and I'm gonna go make a coffee, and
Yeah,
then I'm gonna do the test. You're like, you just don't want to do it, but Cursor just does
yeah,
it. And then you
yeah,
make one change, and you're like, okay, can you make sure that this model is also persisted in the test? And it just goes, and it's just amazing.
yeah.
And I've
With
found
the
that like,
agent mode, you can even like tell it to just like fix tests. Just say that, and it'll
yeah,
figure out how to run them,
yeah,
look at the errors, and then go to fix them.
yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, it's pretty. amazing. It's yeah, I don't like it. I'm trying to like, yeah, I don't know what the next step is right now. But I'm just very excited about the whole cursor situation, and how much it's like, how much I got done in like last night from like between 9 and 11, and this morning for like an hour before this podcast. Like, have an app that can like receive emails, and I'm ready to start parsing, like actually at the AI to my code base instead of just like manually prototyping.
Yeah.
There's a guy, I think his name is TJ. He has a package. He works with the Geocodio folks, and he has a package for for PHP or Laravel, I think, to run LLMs, and it has like, you can sort of use the same interface to run all the different models, and it's pretty cool. I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but I'm planning to try that. So it's easy to like use different models and kind of try different things, and yeah, I'm really stoked about this idea actually.
Crazy. It's a great idea. I'd love to test it.
Yeah, soon.
Soon. Zoom.
Yeah, and then I guess the final thing I did this week is I booked a podcast studio.
Oh, okay. So which podcast is this?
This is for the Peter Zoom show.
The Peter Zoom show.
Yeah,
The
the one with Nicholas is actually moving forward as well. He just sent me an edit of one of the episodes we did, so he's sort of like slowly coming out of paternity leave, I guess. And yeah, but anyways, for the Peter Zoom show, I'm gonna do my first like interview basically with Nikolaj Astrup Messen, who he's done a million different things, but his latest project is with his wife. It's called Traveling Village, and they basically had, I think, like somewhere between 10 and 20 families travel together for 4 months to I think it was Japan and Thailand and Vietnam maybe. And they they all go to the same place, and then they have like a community center every place and activities and stuff, but you still like stay with your own family and kind of do your own thing. But they also have like all this like community every day, and it's very cool. And they're about to plan the third traveling village already. Yeah, so I'm really excited to talk to him. He's been a digital nomad and an entrepreneur. He started lots of different things, and he's just a very cool dude.
So is this in Danish, or is this going to be?
This is going to be in English, yeah.
Danglish.
It's going to be Danglish. He's like an ultra runner, like, you know, he'll run like 100 kilometers through mountains.
Oh yeah,
and
I have one of those friends.
Yeah, he's crazy. Like I feel like I'm pretty good friends with him, but I also didn't know that if it's even possible for him to like come to a podcast studio for 2 hours with how much stuff he's got going on. But he sounded really excited about it, so yeah, I'm stoked to do it, and it's gonna be in that Ludwig's studio.
Oh, nice.
And it was $200 for 2 hours.
I mean, like, what's the alternative for Ludwig? It's just like empty, and he's like, he can't be recording more than 2-3 times a week. So
yeah, I mean, it's great, and it's just gonna be cool because it's like, his podcast is really popular, and it's the same studio, I think.
How popular is it? Do you know?
No, like on YouTube, he gets like, I think between like 10 and 30,000 views, but I think it's bigger on the. Yeah, I think, and it's a Danish podcast, right? And I think it does better on the podcast players. Yeah.
Yeah, signed up for Tenor at some point, but then went away again. Okay. And I spoke to him briefly, and I thought it was like sort of a misunderstanding in how he thought of what Tenor was, I think. So it feels a little bit like I missed an opportunity there.
I'll talk to him.
Yeah, convince him.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, more of an update this week than last week for sure.
That's great. I'm excited for that. Do you have a name for the bookkeeper's doom?
I only have like the name that I'm calling the app locally.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to be able to get a domain name for, because I tried like everything. So in my my code name is just tab. Like you have a tab open somewhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah.
And but yeah, I'll need a better name. I even tried like, how about
Use tab or get
tab.com?
tab or tab
Tab
or
tab
like
tab. Sounds kind of
Tabalicious.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's one. That's a name.
Yep. If you want more of those, I can surely brainstorm
I
some
could call
horrible
it
ones.
AI bookkeeper creator.
Tab with 3 B's. That's what I did with the fun with 3 N's.
Yeah.
And it's always annoyed me since, and it's never easy to tell anyone what the site is called.
Yeah. No, that doesn't work.
No.
So I'll find a name for it for sure.
Tababa.
But I still need to build it too. But it's going well so far. I'm having a ton of fun, and it's very exciting. And I think it's gonna be
Cursor is off running.
Just like imagine, like when you're sending stuff to your accountant, like by the end of the year, you just have this thing where like literally everything that has a receipt is just in there, and it's just in order, and the files are there, and you could just download it all as like one zip ball and send it to him.
Make it so you can just upload your like bank statement as well, and it like what's the word for it? Like it makes sure that all the amounts match.
Yeah, I can't remember what the word is, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's my week.
That's your week. Well, I did I uploaded my YouTube video yesterday. It's a bunch of work, but it's about Cursor as well. So sort of a little bit, because I'm still doing the app introductions, and this week was Flickring, which is the weird mouse app that I built. And I did a lot of that with Cursor. How it works? Yeah.
Just explain it, yeah.
So mice, computer mice.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Pointer on the screen. Used to be that you didn't use your fingers to drag them around. You had like a device, a dedicated device to move that little arrow.
With a little ball that you needed to clean.
Yes. Then at some point they added a wheel to the mouse.
Right.
And you can click the wheel. And then they added more buttons. And then World of Warcraft came and they added 12, 15 buttons to some of them. But Flickring, because I bought like this weird mouse that a YouTuber designed. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
What?
And I kind of love it, but it is definitely kind of weird. I'm used to.
This is where we say, if you're listening to this in a podcast player, go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and see this crazy mouse.
It's called the Zero Mouse, and it's made by so it's a mod kit actually, which means that you buy a Razer mouse and you tear it apart and you pull out the PCB and you put it into this 3D printed shell that the YouTuber Ali from Optimum Tech has designed. And the goal is to have something that's as light as possible. And like the ordinary mice are already pretty far ahead. So if you buy a Logitech G Pro Superlight, it's already around like 60 grams only. And this is like about 20 or something, 30 grams. But it does look weird. Anyway, when I got this, I was used to going back and forth in my browser with the thumb buttons on the Superlight that I had before. And that's apparently an interaction that I couldn't like not have. But I don't have the buttons anymore. So I had the idea to do something like it's really maybe something that a lot of games do as well, where you have this interactivity wheel. Like you could do emotes, how you like your character dances or something like that.
I don't, because I'd never played a computer game in my life, barely.
Wow. Okay.
But imagine I played GTA.
You press a mouse button, and then around your mouse is a wheel, and then depending on the direction that you move the mouse, you can sort of activate the areas of the wheel, and then when you let go of the button, it triggers an action. So it's like a contextual, like a selection menu, but it's around the mouse, and it's always centered around the mouse, so it's pretty quick to like react and use. and it's basically that, but for macOS. So when I click and hold my middle mouse button, a wheel shows up around my mouse, and there's a hole in the middle, so I can just like send events through to regular middle click. But then if I move the mouse to the left or to the right, it can go back and forth in my browser. And if I move it up or
So
down,
you
it can scroll the view under the mouse.
okay. So I thought you clicked the wheel and then you turn the wheel while it's clicked, but that's not what you're saying. You click the wheel and then you move the mouse.
Yeah, so that's like
Ah,
you flick it. That's the name, flick
yeah,
ring.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
it's a
that's
ring and you
clever.
flick it. So, and it's like you can overshoot. So if I just like tap my wheel and then move my mouse like way to the left, it's still gonna trigger the left action, even though I don't hit the ring. But it's like I know, I know the intention.
Yeah.
And
And
I
Cursor
built
built
that.
this.
I built that mainly with Cursor, and it's so
Beautiful.
crazy because for something like building the, so it has like a radial menu. It's round, so there's nothing built into macOS for this. So I have to like build custom UI and stuff like that would always take me so long, and
Yeah,
especially
it's
on
like math
macOS
and
because
stuff.
yeah, and especially on macOS because I use it so little, and there's been like 4 different APIs for UI on macOS since I first tried. But Swift UI is of course the most recent one, but with Cursor I could just tell it like build. I want a radial menu, and it should look like this, and it should be Swift UI, and it should do this and this and this, and I just had it in with 20 seconds, and then I could spend half an hour fiddling with it and get it just right. But like for the first pass, it's just crazy how much you can get. And this was my first real interaction with Composer, I guess. So it
Yeah,
was back in August. So I talked about that in the video as well.
yeah.
Uh,
In Danish
and
though.
no,
Oh,
that's
you talked
English,
about it on
all
this
of
in
it.
this podcast when you built it
Oh yeah, that's
with
probably right.
Cursor,
Yeah,
but that was in
yeah,
Danish. Sorry, that's what I meant.
yeah, yeah. But the videos, and I'm using some footage that I recorded at the time as well, like actually developing it. Um, but yeah, it's
Oh,
fun
fun.
to do the YouTube videos. I think my struggle right now is that I've got the editing kind of good already. So I'm sort of, I feel efficient enough in ScreenFlow to do what I want to do. Like there's nothing that I want to do that I can't figure out how to do. So now it's just, I don't know, practice, and then uh, I still feel that I'm lacking on the content side. Like it's hard to figure out how to structure a video so it's compelling. Like I don't want to just blab, and then combined with uh, writing a script but not sticking to a script, but then also editing in like afterwards, and then doing multiple takes, and then missing a word, and then ending up like having not having the material that I need, and it's like that's a whole thing. That's something I still need to practice.
Yeah.
And I think the end goal is to like fewer takes, uh
More cuts.
not even, I don't know, maybe, yeah.
Fewer takes, shittier videos.
So they end up making sense and being okay, but that's because I edit them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to edit them too much. I want them
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be natural, but as, as long as I'm making so many mistakes while recording, they can't be too natural because they aren't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my struggle, and also like forgetting points that I wanted to make, or like just
Mm-hmm.
not spending enough time on the script. I think I should just be more
I
confident
think
in the story I want to tell before I actually record.
I think stuff like the script and Veed and stuff, like tools like those, like you can like add in words,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which is kind of
I don't know if
wild.
they've worked with video, but I could just show some B-roll while I
Yeah.
use the computer voice instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
that's cool. It's
But like
cool to see you get into the video stuff.
what feels the best about it is like learning to make video like as an art form, I guess, like as a storytelling device,
Hmm.
and then also to just be back on a streak of making stuff and putting it out.
Yeah.
So far so good. Still living up to the goal. Now I just have to battle my own ambitions
What
and then
about
sticking to it.
Nitro Kitten?
The kitten.
Your kid?
Yeah. So I'm still working on adding the premium, and I went back and forth a bit on the pricing
Your
scheme.
premium kid?
Yeah,
Premium child?
yeah. The favorite kid. Um, I don't know. I snooped a little bit around in the other starter kits for Rails that exist, and they do provide quite a lot. And I'm just not sure if I want to be the same. Like, you see competitors like that, and you immediately start to feel like I need this as well before I can even compete. But then again, I don't think that I'm the same as them. Like, they are very much like bootstrapping starter kits. So there's like a wizard, and you type the app name, and you get this, and they ask you what kind of a error tracker do you want, and they get the configuration for whatever. Um, Whereas I am, at least initially, I was way further over into being a UI kit strictly. So I'm battling a bit with my with making a decision on what I want to be, I guess, and then what I want to cost, and when do I want to launch, and how much do I want ready before I even launch it. But still, like, either way, at some point I'll have to build the premium part of the site. So I'm just going ahead with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, the pricing. Just like
You
anything.
sent me a price. Seemed fine.
Yeah, but then I sent it to some other people, and they didn't
Were they
feel.
Danish?
Yeah, that's probably some of it.
Send it to some Americans instead.
Yeah, that's probably right. I should try that.
The Americans are loaded.
Yeah, yeah, they are. I guess so. Some of them are.
I
I'm
was very
sure.
close to making a Greenland joke, but I don't even want to.
Quite a lot of them aren't. um, but but yeah, that might be some of it. But it's just like expectations, differing expectations, and what to present, what to promise, what I want to live up to, what I don't want to live up to. Still, yeah, just
Hmm.
like when it gets closer, you sort of can't avoid all the speculations and concerns.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a thing where, like, the closer you get to releasing it, the more you want to make free and the less you want to charge for it.
Yeah, yeah, maybe something like that. Like, I do want to charge for it, but what do I even think is a fair price? And then,
Who am I even to charge money for something?
all right, yeah, yeah. I guess you're right. I guess you're right. But the true answer is just like try and then see if it sells. And if it doesn't, then the price was wrong. And then
I think it depends. Like, it. The thing that matters is whether some people are going to want to build apps with it or not. Because
yeah,
if you find a starter kit that you feel like you want to build an app with, and it lets you build an app, it's worth a lot of money because it saves you a lot of time.
yeah,
But if you
that's right.
don't feel like you want to build an app with it, it's worth $0 unless you just want to like look at it to
Yeah,
like see how it was built and stuff. So to me, it's really a matter of like, is it good enough for people to want to use it? That's the
yeah.
real question.
Yeah, so the challenge isn't as much pricing it right. The challenge is rather to convince people that it's good.
I just know that if I feel like this starter kit is the only thing that sits between me and building the thing that I kind of hope to build,
Yeah,
then it starts to be worth a lot of money because I'm excited about this idea I have. I want to build it, but I feel like I can't start because I don't want to build everything from scratch and it's difficult. But this if the starter kit feels perfect for building what kind of I'm picturing in my head, then I'm willing to spend more, a
Yeah.
pretty fair amount, you know.
I think there's an argument to be made about like how with cursor and everything, there's so much that you can get for free almost, like user
Yeah.
authentication. There's no reason for that to be built in almost because you could just like tell cursor you want it. But then for something like a UI kit, you still need a human with like taste and
Right. That's like I know everyone is like raving about V0 and stuff, but like I literally haven't tried
yeah.
anything where I felt like it could do UI.
No,
Like even like
I
giving it all
have,
of
but it all
Catalyst
looks
and
like
just
a
take
template.
these element or like components from Catalyst and put a login screen together. It's gonna look really really ugly because the padding is gonna be completely strange.
Yeah,
The spacing is just gonna be so weird, and it just like the way to use cursor is like have a UI kit, give it the example from the UI kit, and be like make this work with Rails or make
yeah,
this work with Vue, and it's really
yeah,
good at that. But don't change the styling.
yeah, yeah. I think you're right. And then yeah, so that's my. It should probably be a selling point,
They need to like
or
somehow get
at least like
the
an argument, or like I should make some content around like how to use it with AI.
so that's actually one of the things I want to do in my talk is like because I think that's what Cursor is really good at. And I think it'd be good for us even at Tailwind to tell that story more. It's like you have
Yeah,
all these components in Tailwind UI, and people always ask for like, oh, could you make like a Svelte version, or could you make a this and that version? But it's like you could just literally take the component example, drop it into
yeah.
Cursor, and it's most likely going to get it right.
You should make like an HTML one pager with all the components that someone could download and then put into their cursor or their project.
Yeah,
Like that's a
but
pretty
it's
easy
like
way to just like include all examples, and then from that point on, you can just tell cursor use my Tailwind UI examples and build a login page.
but I still don't think it's going to build a good looking login page because
But if you use
it
Tailwind to
doesn't
use
know.
your examples,
Yeah, I mean, you can take the login page example from Tailwind and
yeah,
convert it.
that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
but it
So
can't take like the form fields and the buttons and put them together to do a login page because it's gonna look ugly.
no, but that's
Yeah,
what I meant. Like have
yeah, yeah,
all of Tailwind UI in one big HTML file,
yeah,
like with some headings or whatever to
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
signify.
see what you're saying.
And then in Cursor, you can just like add Tailwind UI, and then it includes that entire HTML file, and then tell it
Yeah,
to like using these examples, build a login page
yeah.
using the specific login example, maybe. Yeah,
We kind of talked about something similar because like we get a lot of requests from people who want the templates to be in different like work with different frameworks like Vue for example, or they want like a vanilla HTML version of something. But it's like very often it's like people it seems like that maybe like haven't really like fully like thought through what they mean by vanilla HTML because nothing like it
yeah,
still needs JavaScript. It still needs a lot of
yeah,
JavaScript, and if we don't use React or Vue, like there's no like you can't just use
yeah.
vanilla JavaScript. Like you then we need to make our own framework, because otherwise it's not gonna be accessible and production ready and
No,
cross browser compatible and all this stuff. Like that's why you have frameworks.
yeah,
And and it's like hard to explain. But yeah, but for the templates when people ask, it's also kind of funny because if you just wanted the HTML, the next version will spit out HTML to your browser that you can literally just copy and paste, and it's Tailwind, so you don't even need to get the CSS file or anything.
that's
You
right.
just need to, and
But it's still on the website. Like the primary version is still HTML, isn't it? Or is it Alpine if you don't choose React? The Tailwind UI
no.
example.
So for the templates, I'm talking about the templates,
Oh yeah,
which
okay,
are
yeah,
like
yeah,
Next.js apps, basically, because we want them to work out of the box. Like we want you to be able to download a template and then
yeah.
it's like a fully
It's a
working
website.
Next.js app that
Yeah,
where everything, like the blog works.
yeah,
Even though it might be Markdown based, it works. Um, And but then we were just trying to think like if we wanted to do like an HTML version, even though it's like kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but if we wanted to, like how would we even do it? Because like if we don't have if we don't have like partials or components, like it's just gonna be really
It's
a lot
just
of
gonna be
duplication and
a
stuff.
whole bunch of the same
Yeah.
HTML. Yeah.
Yeah, so my proposal was basically just like have like an index.html or something like that with all the pages on one page, just
Yeah.
like with like some spacing between, but you basically just have all of it on one page so you can
Yeah.
just sort of scroll down and see all of it all at once. Like
Yeah,
maybe
but
you have, yeah.
really, what do people?
It's just a kind of,
Yeah.
I don't think people fully like know what they're even asking for when they ask
No,
for that.
no, I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, because
But yeah, again, cursor AI, it's good for that stuff, you know.
yeah, yeah, that's definitely it. Yeah, so still struggling with my place in the universe, I
Sorry
guess.
for the tangent.
That's right. But eventually, I think I'll do is just a soft launch of the premium version at first. So just like adding the payment page, but not making too much of a fuss about it because like it's done now, but I don't need people coming in too early, I guess. And then I should really start making the content because it gets way more easy to present it or sell it if there actually is content to sell. So
Once you
yeah,
sell the first and someone is really excited about it, I think you're gonna feel better.
yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
a good. Maybe you should do like some early access people that can buy it early.
Yeah, yeah. So like a closed thing, like a
Yeah,
private
kind of
sale.
closed thing.
Yeah,
Could be cool,
yeah.
maybe.
Like my expectation was only that friends would buy it at first.
Yeah.
so so
So
probably
it's same
no matter
idea.
what I do, it's gonna be almost the
Yeah.
same as a private friends own sale. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
have
I think
to.
that'll you know, in the Danish saying, it'll give you if you give you blood on your teeth. That's what we
Oh yeah,
say.
all right, yeah,
It'll
yes.
give you when once you
All
have the taste of blood,
yeah,
you'll
all
want
Danish
more.
sayings are like
Pretty dark.
from the perspective of a vampire.
Yeah.
Like, don't look in the mirror and like watch out with the water. The holy water, I guess. Yeah. So I think that's my update.
Cool. What's
Everything's
do you have any sort of
going it.
like timeline in mind or anything?
Nope. Nope.
Great.
It's
Perfect.
done when it's done, like a true art piece.
Do you have any contract work these days going on? Or you're
I don't right
free
now, but I
bird?
do actually next week and a few weeks ahead. Helping someone build an AI interface actually. So
An AI interface, a text
and
box, a text area.
yes, yes, they asked for how do you use HTML text areas? And now
The text
I'll show
area
them
and ChatGPT is from Tailwind UI.
the MDN docs for a text area, so you can specify rows and calls for this.
Hmm.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe I can
So
share.
what is
a
it?
bit.
What?
I
What's an
don't know how
AI
much I can
interface?
tell, but it's like an old colleague from someone called Founders. Do you have
Just
any connection to Founders in Copenhagen? No,
no,
they were like a
no, no.
startup studio, so they
Yeah, I
had
know what they
some
are.
funds in the back and then party in the front, and they built a bunch of startups. Some successful, some not, but
It's
that's
like
the
an
plan, I guess.
incubator, but they incubate their own.
Yeah, yeah. I think they
It's
thought
kind
of
of
it more
like
like a
a
startup studio. I think that's what
yeah
they call it.
startup studio. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it
they
was
hire
fun.
founders basically.
I was there for like 8 months, I think, being a prototype developer. That's where I built the receipt parser thing actually,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for something
yeah. I
that
bet
they.
a million people are probably building this right now.
Yeah,
But
yeah. That's
I
it.
don't care. I'm building my take.
But that's why I thought it should be like if you could build it cheap, you could
Yeah, it'll be cheap. It's cheap. Don't worry.
just because like I mean there's two sides to it. I pay quite a lot for my bookkeeper, like compared to everything else that I buy. and that's just for convenience. So if I could just pay half of that to you, that would still be an expensive software as a service. But
Sure.
I'm still only paying half of what I'm paying for my bookkeeper. So if it's as good, so that's one side. Like you could charge a lot because it's replacing people who are already expensive. But
Yeah, I think before I replace a bookkeeper fully, I would need to integrate with accounting tools as well, which I think is not a big issue, but it's just
if
a lot
you
of different things to integrate with. But
you
if
start
I
with,
could start Denmark, that'd be
yeah, that's what
one or two that I needed to do.
three
Yeah.
kinds. Like if you could do economic, that's what 80% of businesses, and then dinero, and then who are left? Billy. Oh yeah, and simple regnskab. I used them as once. Yeah, I don't know. Looking forward to it. That's exciting, Peter. I think that's a great idea.
Should we end it here?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. See
All
you
right.
next week, I guess.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye bye.